Welcome to our international podcast, Below the Belt. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. Of course, Beatrice Selby, of course, is here already, along with so many of you. Beatrice, a very good afternoon to you. Beatrice says, I love to be here again among my Below the Belt family. Share, please big up my daughter, Lizzie Selby Thompson, who is a nurse in the USA. Respect and manners. Lizzie Selby Thompson. And we're talking about nurses today as it's International Nurses Day, and we value the work the nurses are doing, whether you're at home or in the diaspora. Chisel Chipper, 68. Chisel Chipper, 68 says, waiting patiently in the capital region of New York. Yep. Chisel Chipper, 68 is on the ground in New York. Boots on the ground. Good to have you guys joining the podcast, and we are so tremendously happy. All of you guys are here. Vanessa Thomas says, good afternoon to all, which means good afternoon to all of you listening to us. And we say good afternoon to you as well, Vanessa. Let us know how you guys are receiving us. Let us know if the audio is good. You know, you guys are technicians in your own right. You all know good audio and sound when you all hear it. Good to have you guys here. Really good to have all of you folks here with us. And I am trying to locate the papers as I'm here. And hopefully I put my hands in them in a very short order. I trust that the day is going well with you folks. I trust the day is going well with you folks, wherever you guys are picking us up from, whether you're at home, whether you're in the diaspora, whether you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, or you're joining us on YouTube, you're a tuber, or you guys are joining us on LinkedIn, wherever you guys are joining us. So we are so happy that you're all here with us, and we would rather be no other place, folks. We'd rather be no other place. Respect and manners right off the bat to all of our nurses. You know, lots of nurses are home in Guyana, and lots of nurses are in the diaspora as well. Philomeno Fontanelle, I see you. Jenny's Booker, I see you in your comment. Jenny's Booker says loud and clear. We're so happy for that. Siobhan McDonald, a good afternoon to you. And we trust you are great. Siobhan, we trust that you are great. Joan Williams, Roxanne Odessa, good to have you. Joan Robinson is here. Good to have all of you. Wonderful, fantastic folks. Would rather be no other place with no other bunch of folks. We're so happy that you guys are here. And again, happy International Nurses Day to all our nurses. Well, I come from a family of nurses and teachers, and I'm so happy to celebrate with our nurses and teachers. Teachers is a Nurses Day. We are gonna say it's a Nurses Day. We're so happy. Nurses make the world a better place. Believe it or not, nurses make the world a better place. So happy that you guys are here. So happy that you guys are here with us. And, you know, as we're coming on, it's good to see the authorities install regime are fixing the road in Thomas Land. If you go Thomas Land behind the YMCA, you know that that road there has been falling into the drain, basically. There was a depression there in the road, and if you try to drive over it, you could scrape the bottom of your vehicle. But we're so happy, you know. Finally, the tree stage. Where they solve problems here. You circle the problem. When enough people complain, like Jarita and Amanza, you rub out the circle, and then when real public pressure is brought to bear, mm, real pressure is brought to bear, then you're going to fix the problem. That's the best time. So enough people complain, and now I see a part of the road is closed down, and they're now rehabilitating that area. Right? Lots of bridges too along the East Coast. I saw someone was complaining from Granville on the East Coast there, right next to BV. If it's not a part of BV, the bridge is caving in, right? And they're gonna wait till the whole thing is impassable. And when I gotta spend 600 million on it, lots of the bridges on the East Coast need some work. They need some work. And we got to stop kicking the can down the road and just fix some of the problems. So it's good to see the guys are fixing. That is, what road is that? Thomas Lands. And that is Thomas Lands there. It's good to see them fixing that so that the public can benefit. I thought they were going to wait till somebody, fall overboard there. Some car drive overboard there. Right? So it's good to see that's being fixed. Good to see you, Cheryl. Good to see you, Patricia and Marlon King, Jackie Beard, Kevin Pierce, Desmond. Is it Sonsi Anthony? Desmond Sonsi Anthony. Cindy. Candy says she's ready to rumble. Candy Lean Legit says, I'm ready to rumble. That's what Candy says. Good to have you, Candy. And Tessa Isaacs, Graves Anley, Tessa listening. Then we got Lois McKenzie. Rock and come in, Lois McKenzie. Rock and come in. Tessa Boy T. Anderson. Right. Tessa, explain that little middle name for us there. Boy T. Right? Is it Teresa? Mm-hmm. Merlin King, Elizabeth Gaskin, Paula Pollard, Pinky Kerr, Jennifer Johnson, Jackie Beard. Good to have you folks here. Would rather it no other way, peoples. Right? Would rather it no other way. We're so happy that you folks are here. When you come, when you all rock and come in, we say share the live stream, valid and credible information. That's what we're about. And we want as many persons as possible to receive valid and credible information. And so we ask you guys to share our live stream and smash the emoji button as well, folks. Smash the emoji button as well. We're so glad you guys are here. So we're looking at that. Hmm? We're looking at that. And then I see on the very page here, I'm looking at the Kaito News. It says, one of the headlines says, bring back Ben. Public Service Credit Union members demand emergency meeting within 14 days. And folks, some of you may have been out there yesterday. The membership turn up. The membership came out to Mr. Ben yesterday, and there's a meeting out there as well, an activity out there tomorrow at 10. There's a board meeting tomorrow at 10. And folks, if you haven't had a chance to show your support in that way, the petition, I think, is going to be out there to be signed tomorrow as well. We invite you guys. To go sign up that petition and make your voices heard. Saturday at 10. Mm-hmm. That's the word in the ground. Folks. And the headline reads, bring back Ben. Bring back Ben. Quite interesting. Because yesterday, we went out there and spoke with those folks, show their own solidarity with what's happening. And person after person that we spoke to kept saying the same thing. We want Ben. They were pointing out all the good things that have happened in the union since Mr. Ben took charge as chairman of that board. Yep. And that's what's happening. Those are some of the issues in the news, folks. Of course, a lot of folks are still talking about what's happening in the oil and gas sector. The oil and gas sector. A lot of folks are still following that. And another headline we've examined for today says that ExxonMobil refuses to disclose cost of transport gas to Wales at public consultation. Why are they frightened to release it? So they're talking half and left in half. They are talking half and left in half. We want to know all. Why are you refusing to disclose the cost to transport gas to Wales? Yeah, might be see, could be some hefty sums. Could be some hefty sums. Very secretive. And then you know what? The Minister on Governance. The Minister on Governance. Your friend Gail. Hmm? Your friend Gail. Little Dutch axe. Now she's gonna say, we're for transparency as a government. We are for good governance. Ah, ah, peer story. They're for good governance. Well, you probably know good governance when you see it. Apparently. Right. Probably know good governance when you see it. That's how they arrogant. You probably know good governance when you see it. You probably don't know it. So these are some of the issues we're following. These are just some of the issues we're following today and that we think you ought to know about. I think there's another one I want to bring to your attention. I think there's another one I want to bring to your attention. But good to have each and every one of you here with us. Please and thank you. Click, click, clickety, click. Good to have you folks here. What else are we going to touch on? What else shall we touch on today? Let's pick up something from credible sources, our very own, our affiliate website, Credible Sources, because they put out some information yesterday. We think you guys ought to know. But how you guys are spending the morning, by the way? How have you guys started this afternoon? Deborah Leach, we see you there. Edward Gonzalez, of course, from the Bronx. Hope all is well in the Bronx, Edward. Hope all is well in the Bronx. And one of the stories we shared yesterday was about what's transpiring at Linden. Of course, you know, we were on the ground there over the weekend. Teresa was there over the weekend. I was there over the weekend. Assessing and getting a first-hand look at what's transpiring. It was interesting though, because at the same time, them guys breaking down the houses there at Amelia's Ward Phase 2, you had land titling being promised. Hmm? Land titling being promised in another section of the country for people who have been squatting as well. So it's very interesting, very interesting. And guys, the report we have at this end says that Mother's Day weekend was a nightmare. This is out of credible sources, a very old. Hmm? Mother's Day weekend was a nightmare for residents squatting in Amelia's Ward as they were forced to watch the government officials destroy their homes in an effort to clear the way for a road to be constructed. It says one mother who moved to that squatting area to escape domestic abuse. Hmm? To escape abuse, folks. She was left without a shelter over her head. Right? You all remember how them boys flood out success? Huh? You remember how them boys flood out success? Saying how, oh, Gaisuko wants to start back replanting? Well, we understand now, and the article tells us, because we do the research. You all don't come around with funny that not only has Gaisuko not planted a blade of grass on that land since, huh? So a lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff happening at that end, folks. Right? Not only have they not planted a blade of grass, but the research tells us that about 35% of the sugar production capacity of Gaisuku has fallen. And they know they had no intentions planting any cane there, but it's lie. They were lying. That's the point I want to make. Is lie them boys the line. One big lie. That's what they're doing. And so that's happening on that front. While the squatters there, and some people had legal documents for their land. So really and truly, they were not all squatters. They weren't. While that was happening there, land titles were being given out or promises were being made to the folks in another part of the country, right? In another part of the country, they were being promised, we're going to regularize y'all. That's the promise he was making. That he would regularize these other people. Y'all think it's easy? You think it's easy? And this was the area in Region 2 known as Walton Hall. Walton Hall, that's the area in Region 2 where these promises were made by the installed PPP. Yep. And so that's happening on that front. We're still monitoring that because they promised a lot of things. But the people there in that squatting or squatter settlement, I mean, it's Ward Phase 2. I think they want their thing in writing. Hmm? And can you blame them? With the track record of them boys? Can you blame them? You can't. You just can't. The other story we're following, guys, before we head into our main topic for today, is the withdrawal of $42 billion. Hmm? The withdrawal of that money from the Natural Resource Fund. Yep. 42 billion. Now the law, and I don't know, I got some company here, but I can ask her to come in for a second or two. Tells us that that money must be spent a particular way. They must tell us. They must state to the public what projects this money will be spent on. But you think them boys care? Them boys don't care. Them boys don't care what that money, what the law says. Money got for make. Money got for make. Nice time. So 42 billion. 42 billion has been withdrawn from the Natural Resource Fund. And I sure y'all know what happening here. I sure y'all know what happening out here, people. I sure y'all know. So don't come wrong with funny. I sure you all know. It can be squandermania, mm, and waste mania and all the rest to go with it. Nice time, nice time, nice time. That's what we're going with. Nice time, nice time. Good to have each and every one of you here. I wish the economists could talk to us about this for a second. I wish we could talk to some more economists. You know, nice time. What we doing for the nurses? We can hold a fundraiser. Hmm? We can hold a fundraiser. I remember when a question was posed, when a particular question was posed about frontline workers and nurses and so on, you know, and them wanted risk allowance and the protective equipment and so forth during COVID-19. I remember what was said. Remember what was asked and remember what was said. Hmm? You all remember? Or your mind can't stretch back so far. Pace and power. Pace and power. I can jog some of y'all mind. You might remember I can jog your mind a little bit. I can jog your mind a little bit. Because Catfish says something. And it has been one refrain since then. Nothing can change. Right? Nothing can change. So we're eager to see what happens next. Looking for a statement out of the administration on International Nurses Day. But folks, like we can't hold our breath. Hmm? Like we can't hold our breath. So we're watching and waiting. Watching and waiting, folks. Watching and waiting. So happy International Nurses Day.
That's right. Welcome.
International Nurses Day, folks. Happy, apologies there. Happy International Nurses Day. I'm trying to get my ducks in a row. Happy International Nurses Day to each and every one of you. Right? If you all know a nurse, be sure to wish them Happy International Nurses Day. If you know a nurse, be sure to wish them Happy International Nurses Day. Please and thank you. We were interested to know what the administration is doing on this occasion to really show that they care about nurses. To really show that they care. Because you know, guys, nurses have been under the assault. Has been on the assault. The assault end. Right? That's what has happened. And you can trace it from what has been happening with COVID and them being on that front to what has happened recently. You can trace it because it's bare confusion, powder, and pocketry. And y'all know we talking the truth. Y'all know the truth we talking, so don't come around we funny. Right? Don't come around we funny at all. And that is one of the reasons why when Rudy Small, on Labor Day or May Day as we call it locally as well, made this impassioned speech to the nurses, he was mocked and ridiculed. Mocked and ridiculed. Because, gentle folks, people don't want to hear nonsense. That's what the people are saying, really, truly. Talk thing that makes sense. Rudy, please and thank you. Talk things that make sense. Right? And they ain't making no sense. No sense whatsoever. And that is why the people responded the way they responded. Do you remember that? Huh? You remember that? Well, we remember. We remember. Carl Fordyce, Yvonne Stanton, we remember.
I give you my pledge to work tirelessly, night and day, to make the bonds between us stronger. If God is for us, who can be against us?
You all hear that? No, 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 no. We in there, Pundo. Ha, ha,
I give you my pledge to
ha.
work tirelessly, night and day,
We in there,
to
Pundo.
make the bonds between us stronger. If, if God is for us, who can be against us?
Yep, yep, yep. You see, the nurses know exactly what is happening in this sector. And that is what that response wasn't planned, that when he talk, all we gonna laugh. But the nurses, you see, understand what is happening in this sector. And you know what that points out to us? That they understand that the actions, right? The actions and the words of the administration, they are not lining up. That is what they know. The actions and the words of this administration and regime not lining up. And that is why we heard them laughing Rudy to scorn because the words of the administration and the action of the administration, they are not adding up. And it's important that we reflect on that, even as we celebrate with our nurses for International Nurses Day, because this is the same set of people who gonna come with some hurly flurly statements, and they're gonna want to say, "We care about you." That's how they're gonna want to come around with funny, right? And they can say, brothers and sisters, we care. Ah, we care about y'all. West side. Mm, West side. That is what they're going to come and tell us. How much they care about you, about your well being. When it's pure nonsense they're doing. Pure nonsense. Pure nonsense they're doing. And I'm certain that you guys out there, if you've been following the affairs on the ground, you all would know we're talking the truth. Kim Walker, Joylyn Nelson, Amanda Nelson, Guyana spectators, you all know we're talking the truth. So don't come wrong with funny. Right? Don't come wrong with funny. Who vex vex? That's the fact of the matter. Who vex vex? Right? Don't come wrong with funny. Those nurses have been going out there and they have been on the forefront. None side on the forefront. And what has been the administration treatment of them? Well, yeah, they're wrong and you'll see. And I think Lyndon especially, has taken the brunt of it. Right? Lyndon has taken the brunt of it. The brunt of it. Because those nurses, Lord have his mercies, they have been treated in mm, the worst way imaginable. Right? The worst way imaginable by this administration and this regime. And so on a day like this, them boys out here looking thin. Right? Them boys out here looking thin. And who vex vex? Who vex vex? Because they know they're out here looking thin. Real thin too. So we've been scouting around to see what they have said, and we're just after 12, and they ain't saying very much. Right? They're not saying very much at all. So maybe they even forget. Maybe they even forget that it's International Nurses Day. Maybe they have forgotten. Right? Maybe they have forgotten. We remember at this side that Irfan Ali was doing a walkabout in Providence, and he was asked about the increase for nurses, risk allowance, and a number of other things. And he said, how dare the nurses? Where were they? Did they show solidarity? You know, with the sugar workers during the struggle? Did they show solidarity? And now them boys, same people, they gonna wanna come and talk about how much they love the nurses, right? They gonna want come and say how much they love the nurses. And you know what? Some of us might even believe these jagabots, right? Some of us might even be tempted to believe these trench crappos. Some of us might even believe that. Mm. That's what they can come and say. They love the nurses. Oh, we got a plan for them. We still waiting. Still waiting. We got a plan for them. I think they're right. The plan was really small. I'm tempted to believe that they are right. But the plan is not a good plan. It's not a good plan at all. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Wrong bank. Right? Wrong bank. Right? Wrong bank. Wrong bank. Here we are, boy. I think we have it here. Y'all always do your homework, eh? Y'all always do a little homework and so. Right? Me do a little homework and thing. Wrong bank. Wrong bank. Let me see if this one is it. Mm-mm.
Healthcare workers are crying out for risk allowance and protective gear as they fight COVID on the front lines, but
Sorry about that. Take a look at some of the audio for you guys. Don't want to hurt you. Hurt you. Your hearing by any means.
the PPPC says these requests are unreasonable and the country cannot afford it.
I have seen requests that are outside of the scope of what the country can afford.
But when asked about 40 billion,
You all hear that? It's outside the scope. When the nurses and the healthcare workers just asking what is due to them.
spent in 2 months, 5 billion for the failing sugar estates and 95 million for luxury vehicles. The president said,
Think of this straight. They say that we're spending $5 billion on the reopening of sugar, and that is the justification for their action. You're saying that where was the solidarity when more than 7,000 sugar workers were sent home?
the PPPC doesn't care about frontline workers. They don't care about average Guyanese.
I don't have apologies for bringing back those jobs, creating those jobs. I don't have apologies for bringing back those jobs, creating those jobs. I don't have apologies for bringing back those jobs, creating those jobs.
Save Guyana is
Yep. Remember, our frontline workers, our nurses, you know, nursing assistants, community health workers. What were they asking for? What were they asking for? But it's on days like this. Folks, it's on days like this. Hmm? Anna Gordon, Marlon Thomas is on days like this. Marlon says the nurses need increase in wages and salary. The man said being at their time with her. You don't watch and see what we giving sugar workers. Where were they in this solidarity? That's how you know the real people, you know. That's how you know the real people. Where were they? You got to listen to him carefully. Listen to the fellow, right? Where were they in the struggle?
Healthcare workers are crying out for risk allowance and protective gear as they fight COVID on the front lines, but the PPPC says these requests are unreasonable and the country cannot afford it.
I have seen requests that are outside of the scope of what the country can afford.
When asked about 40 billion spent in 2 months, 5 billion for the failing sugar estates and 95 million for luxury vehicles, the president said,
Please get this straight. They say that we're spending $5 billion on the reopening of sugar, and that is the justification for their action. They're saying that where was the solidarity when more than 7,000 sugar workers were sent home?
the PPPC doesn't
Yep, yep, yep.
care about frontline workers.
Indeed, they do not care. They do not care about frontline workers. That's the real people there, right? You see, when you have these days like today coming up, oh, they can find all the nice words to talk about. But that is the real people there, right? When situations hit and the nurses say we want more money, and where were they? Where were they in the solidarity with the sugar workers? You know, that's the one refrain. Where were they during the 5 months of the protracted election period? Where were they? The right to go quiet on International Nurses Day and let people who treat nurses with dignity and respect speak. The right to go quiet. What they can tell the nurses? Hmm? What they can tell the nurses? What are they going to say? On Tuesday, the People's National Congress Reform had a press conference, and Region 10 Chairman Deron Adams had some commentary about the nurses. And one of the things he said is that they are losing nurses in Linden, losing nurses in Region 10, losing nurses to the UK. Hmm? Well, if you got people talking about you, how the president talking about healthcare workers, you gonna stick around? Hmm? You gonna stick around? I didn't think you gonna stick around. So is it Washington? You gonna stick around? Frank Anthony, when he was outside in the opposition, he knew exactly what nurses' salary should have been, what doctor's salary should have been. Now them guys got billions of dollars, billions at the disposal. Right? I think it's a Manzar Jurito who says, "Show me your policies, that's it, and I can show you where your value." I captured it right. Show me your policies. Show me where you spend your money. That's what she said. Show me where you spend your money, and I can show you where your value. Nasa Sukchan Sudhari, Pamela Dover, show me your money, and I can tell you where your value. Hmm? And that is a statement worthy of repetition. All right? Believe it or not, today's today's uh, International Women's Day, the theme is a voice to lead invest in nursing and respect the rights to secure global health. That is the theme of today's International Nurses Day. That's the theme. That's the theme. Right? Give me a second. I'm going to rehearse it again. That is the theme. You think they can live up to this? You think they can live up to this? You think so? You think them boys can live up to such high ideals? Hear this theme. Hear this theme. I don't think they could live up to it. We've seen enough. We've seen enough. Right? We've seen enough. Here, what is the theme? On International Nurses Day, International Nurses Day 2022, nurses, a voice to lead. But Mark Fourier, them boys in London, I want the nurses lead. Winnie D. Hart, it says a voice to lead. Invest in nurses and respect rights to secure global health. Mm? You think Rudy Small in Linden appreciates that? I mean, look what them boys doing with the nursing council. Mm? To subvert the nursing council because they don't control it. They bring in a whole legislation to the National Assembly so that they can regulate which nurse stays in Guyana and who go overseas. Uh, so that they don't need the nursing council. That's how them boys operate. So the nursing has got no rights. And the theme of International Nurses Day is nurses a voice to lead. Invest in nursing and respect rights to secure global health. That's what the theme of it is. Suzette Washington, Marilyn Thomas, Pamela Dover, Isabella Butters, Teresa B. T. Anderson, Boyd T. Anderson, Teresa Boyd T. Anderson, Rhonda Lane, and Isola Allen. Hmm? You think them boys could live up to this? Don't make joke now. Let me be serious. Yeah? You think so? But we're following. And we want to say Happy International Nurses Day to all our nurses. We value your work. And I am acutely aware of the challenges, that are faced in this sector, having come from a family of nurses and teachers, and of how hard our nurses work and sacrifice for themselves and their families. I've had the privilege of having a nurse raise me as a mother. I've had that privilege, right? And to be influenced by an aunt and an uncle, biological and otherwise, who from the profession, sound people, you know, sound people, sound people. And to think that you gotta go overseas, to progress financially as a nurse. You gotta go someplace else but your own country to be treated with some dignity and respect. I understand and I'm acutely aware. I understand and I'm acutely aware. So we want to say a happy, happy International Nurses Day. All right. Happy, happy International Nurses Day, guys. To each and every one of you. Auntie Sandra Hanover. Happy International Nurses Day. Tremendous nurse. Sandra Hanover. Hazel Europe. Fantastic nurse. Jillian Sue. Fantastic nurse. Lena Duncan. Fantastic nurse. Eva Jarek. Fantastic. Raymond Narayan. Elizabeth Narayan. Fantastic nurses. Happy International Nurses Day, folks. Fantastic. If you know a nurse, please, today, right, let them know how much they mean and how much they're valued on International Nurses Day. Please. Folks, we're taking our leave a couple of minutes early. I'm going to take my leave a couple of minutes early today because I'm attending to that court matter. Jagabats and the trench rappers. There's yet another appearance has to be made today. Them boys don't know what they're doing on the other side. I can tell you that much. Right? So I must take my leave early. We're gonna keep you guys posted on that. But happy, happy International Nurses Day. Happy International Nurses Day, guys. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Happy International Nurses Day. We're gonna take our leave at this point. Thanks for joining us, each and every one of you. Roxanne and Vanita, Rhonda and Patricia. If you see a nurse in the comment, please say Happy International Nurses Day. Share the damn live stream. You know you gotta do. Smash that emoji button and partner with us. You all know we're available by Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, MMG, Western Union, MoneyGram. Just for your convenience. For your convenience. Partner with us. Keep us going. You want to know how? Need some more information? 627 6963. 627 6963. That's our WhatsApp number. We'd be happy to give you some guidance on how you can partner with us for our growth. Totally public funded. Thanks for joining us, guys. And again, happy International Nurses Day. We're going to see you guys back in the ring at 8. Back in the ring at 8. That's our time, folks. That's our program. Have a fantastic afternoon. Have a fantastic afternoon, guys.